Hello everybody, and welcome back to Fleur Services Healing Channel. I'm your host, Todd Dobson. Thank you very much for dropping in. Today we are going to discuss what is Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD. Alright, let's jump in and let's go to town with it. According to the American Psychological Association, the APA, link will be provided, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD, is a personality disorder with the following characteristics. A long-standing pattern of grandiose self-importance and an exaggerated sense of talent and achievements. This could be someone who sees themselves as having the ultimate skills in whatever they are doing, and or they are the best at everything they do and or have done. B, fantasies of unlimited sex, power, brilliance, or beauty. Even if the narcissist sees someone that is more beautiful, smarter, earns more money, or is somehow better, they cannot acknowledge them. If they find a way to recognize the other person, they will speak about them in a demeaning manner or sense. Okay. C, an exhibitionistic need for attention and admiration. The narcissist craves to be the center of attention, or even when they are filled with self-loathing or lack of self-value, they must gain acknowledgement and or be the center of attention in a negative way. D, either cool indifference or feeling of rage, humiliation, or emptiness as a response to criticism, indifference, or defeat. The narcissist can never bear witness to others telling them about their shortcomings. When someone tells them how they are wrong, the narcissist will either become defensive, jump into victim mode, or bounce between victimization and rage, anger, or even become physical. And E, various interpersonal disturbances such as feeling entitled to special favors, taking advantage of others, and inability to empathize with the feelings of others. The narcissist will always expect special favors because everybody owes them favors due to their friendship or relationship with them. They will always use their position, relationship to take advantage of those around them. The narcissist can never have empathy for anyone or any circumstances because they cannot see the person or situation, because they will always see themselves as impervious and above all others. Now, these 5 standards come about by psychoanalyst Wilhelm Reich, Otto Kernberg, Heinz Kohut, and psychologist Theodore Millen. There are 9 standards for NPD. These standards repeat some of what our esteemed colleagues have actually quoted above, and they're brought about by the APA via 2013. A grandiose sense of self-importance. A fixation with fantasies of infinite success, control, brilliance, beauty, or idyllic love. A credence that he or she is extraordinary and exceptional and can only be understood by or should connect with other extraordinary or important people or institutions. A desire for unwarranted admiration. A sense of entitlement, interpersonally oppressive behavior, no form of empathy, resentment of others or a conviction that others are resentful of him or her, a display of egotistical and conceited behaviors or attitudes. People with NPD are unable to handle anything perceived as criticism, good or bad, and will in most cases react by becoming impatient or angry when they don't receive special treatment, have significant interpersonal problems, and easily feel slighted, react with rage or contempt, and try to belittle the other person to make themselves appear superior, have difficulty regulating emotions and behaviors, feel depressed and moody because they fall short of perfection, have secret feelings of insecurity, shame, vulnerability, and humiliation. It is important for all of us to understand that people with NPD were generally abused or neglected as children, and the development of NPD came about as a coping mechanism or a learned behavior. We do not wish to stigmatize NPD personas, but rather help others identify narcissistic traits within themselves or the people surrounding them. Narcissistic people are difficult to deal with at best, but there are things we can do to help the narcissist become aware, accept, and choose for themselves if they wish to remain narcissistic or to change. Changing out of narcissistic behaviors is reprogramming oneself. So it is not easy, but it can and should be done. Narcissists can never admit that they are wrong about anything. In many cases, the narcissist endured during their formative and teen years an inundation of people yelling at them or extolling how they were always wrong, or they were punished for being wrong constantly. When the narcissist is faced with someone else espousing their failures, they will immediately become defensive, angry, enraged, and at times violent. They cannot accept that they are not perfect in every way, or that everyone doesn't want to be like them or with them. The narcissist cannot accept boundaries set by others because they lack compassion or empathy. They cannot accept the limitation others may establish. From the narcissist perspective, the boundaries set by others were never intended for them. They will always be excluded from all rules. If they are held to the same standards or rules that all others must adhere to, they will become angry, filled with rage, defensive, and seek to explain how they are above or beyond those rules and boundaries. The narcissist puts on a series of masks with the intent of showing different people what they think that person wants or needs to see in them. When a person sees the narcissist for who they truly are, the narcissist will leave or strike out. It is the narcissist who must control the relationship and how others see them. A narcissist can never love another person unconditionally. They will claim to love, and they will do things they know are necessary to have someone love them. But their form of love is about controlling the other person. They will do or say anything they need to in order to control the person they claim to love. When that love fails, the narcissist becomes the victim and espouses how they were wronged, betrayed, or taken advantage of. The narcissist will chip away at your self-confidence, your resilience, your sense of right and wrong. They do this instinctively to control the person or people surrounding them. The need to control others and situations is everything to the narcissist, because when they lose control, they lose themselves. They will promise the world, but never intend to keep those promises. Their promises are either gaslighting or another means of control. There are many different aspects of a narcissist. It is important to recall that they were never born as a narcissist, but they were taught, and they learned to be one based on how they were raised. The narcissist suffered and endured many traumas and severe programming in the creation of their NPD. Some crazy things narcissists will do. Lie. They will lie to everyone and about everything, including themselves. Ruin holidays or special events. Make you feel inadequate or less than. Play word games, twist, deny, and make it impossible to communicate. Change how they treat you and how they feel about you. You are the best person, then you are the worst person. Future faking. Promise you all kinds of things, marriage, vacations, etc., and never follow through on anything. Overwhelm you so you are burnt out, then blame you when you are not getting enough done. Make you feel lonely, unappreciated, and especially unloved. Destroy your trust in people. Make you lose your innocence. Make you feel hopeless, helpless, and then saddest you have been in all of your life. Exhaust you mentally, physically, and emotionally. And these are just a few of the traits narcissists hold very clear. The narcissist suffers from their own actions. With each and every person they push and or throw away, their activities do as much damage to themselves as it does to the intended parties. They just don't see it or can't see it. Their own actions cause repeated suffering that they are not prepared for or intend to harm themselves by. But you cannot harm another person without hurting yourself. The narcissist will never admit fault or blame. They are perfect in every way. Therefore, they can never be at fault or to blame for something that isn't brilliance and perfection. I was born into a truly hurtful family. One with parents who were both narcissists. Verbally, mentally, and physically abusive. Like all narcissists, they constantly manipulated the people around them to get what they wanted, constantly stripping away any self-confidence in the need to control others. Love and control were synonymous with one another, and they could not delineate between the two. I was raised in such an environment with two narcissistic people rearing 4 children to be just like them, as they were just like their parents and their forefathers before them. While I knew the family I was born into was tremendously bad and demented, I did not understand until my 30s that I was becoming exactly the same way within my personal and professional lives. It took huge efforts and tremendous sorrow and guilt to fight myself to become the person I choose to be, rather than continuing to be a narcissist just like the rest of my family. I choose to feel sincerely about everybody else and not be the closed and controlling narcissist I was taught to be. I hated being shallow, and I loathed not truly caring about people. It took me years to reprogram myself to become a caring and sincere person to everyone around me. It took me longer to trust others rather than needing to control them. Narcissists can change, but it is extremely difficult. We must reprogram ourselves to the antithesis of how we were raised. We must learn to care about ourselves, and through that self-love, we reprogram ourselves to love unconditionally. Once we do this the first time, we can repeat the process for everyone and everything adjacent to us. We stop hurting everyone around us while we stop destroying ourselves in the process. A narcissist can never truly have hope, but when the hope is in building a new and improved self, that is always a hope worth having. I hope you like this. I hope you learned something. Thank you very much for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful day.